Hello, world changers. I hope you're all well. So I wanted to come on and just give some more updates and reflections from CYWHQ. Sorry, I just kicked the camera there. So this week, what I want you to think about is, do you have the capacity to change? This is a question that I've been pondering for quite a while now. So with Change Your World and everything I do and all the coaching services and the events and conferences and everything that we organise, I see lots of people desperate to make changes in their life. They have a real desire to improve themselves, be their best selves, make changes in their life, and they really want to do it. And then I speak to other people that have got a real desire to change but then don't do anything about it. They seem really sort of engaged with my services and what I do. I often hear them saying, oh, I think I should do that, and then don't take any action. And this has been a question I've pondered for a while. I'm thinking, well, why is it that not just my services, but why is it that people don't do or take the actions that would improve their life and help their health and well-being, make them live happier, be more productive in their jobs, have more energy, have more loving, connected relationships? And I've often thought, what is it that's stopping you? So I'm inviting you to ask this question, just to think about the things that you do want to improve in your life, and think about what is it that's been stopping you. And, what's the block? Now, I often hear people saying time is an issue. I just don't have time. I hear that lots. And which translates as, it's not my priority right now. Because it's amazing how when something comes in, so I always give this analogy, if you're single and your life is very full, you've got full career, full family life, social life, all the rest of it, and you kind of think, where on earth would I fit a partner in? And you have no time for that. However, you meet somebody that blows your mind, is totally amazing, and then all of a sudden you find yourself talking on the phone for hours, texting each other all day, sending lovely messages, going on dates, date nights and all the rest of it, and suddenly there's this time that you've just suddenly created because this is a fun activity. It's something you have a huge desire to do, you want to do. So when it comes to the question I posed in this post is, do you have the capacity to change? Now, I believe everybody has the capacity to change. I don't believe it's simple. It can be simple, some of the changes we make, but we all have the capacity to change. Do we have the desire to change? I do believe that we do. But do we take the action? Hey Pauline, nice to see you. I look forward to seeing you tonight at the life coaching group. There's somebody very much going to work on herself. So Pauline, I hope I'm okay to tell this Pauline, I'm going to totally say it. Pauline is in our online Change Your World Everyday coaching group. So she checks into the daily coaching. She also comes along to our weekly coaching. So there's somebody that's really making time to improve her life, live life better, and make the changes that she wants to make. Hey Jack, nice to see you. So the question I'm asking, do you have the capacity to change? And the reason I ask this question is because, like I've said, lots of people have the desire to change, they want to change, they know the changes that they need to make or would like to make that would dramatically improve their life. So what, again, is stopping them? And it's come down to one simple thing, and this was with a conversation I had with Gareth Riddy, who's one of our coaches in the daily coaching group. And he said, he explained that when people are in stress and overwhelm and just got too much on their plate, they physically and mentally and emotionally just cannot take on anything new in their life. They know the things that they need to do, they know the actions they need to take, but it's just too much overwhelm. And it's just another thing to do. What's Pauline saying? Love it, highly recommended to all those wanting to make changes. Thank you, Pauline. And yeah, it's just great to see you absolutely embracing it and, you know, making the changes that you're making. And today we were talking about resilience, and I won't go into Pauline's situation at the moment, that maybe you can share it, but Pauline has needed a bucket load of resilience with her current situation that she's having, that's going on. But yeah, we were talking, I mean, resilience is another area that we need to build when it comes to making changes, because when we make changes we will go on an emotional roller coaster. And you know, Jenny Campbell from the Resilience Engine was talking about explaining how we have a resilience river, and some days it's high and you know we can cope, and like all the rocks and pebbles and you know trees that fall in the river, the riverbank, all these things are the challenges that we have in life, the things that we have to deal with, and can, you know, really obviously affect us. And she said when our resilience is high, it's like a river and it just washes over these things. We just flow in life. We have the capacity to deal with these things, to cope with them, just to deal with them in the most empowered way. However, when our resilience is low because we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we're not exercising, we're eating poorly, we're sleeping poorly. I mean, that's a massive thing that affects my resilience. That's when our river becomes low and suddenly we start hitting the rocks, we're bashing against the rock. You know, even a small rock that normally we would just wash over, suddenly our whole perspective changes on it and it just seems like a huge obstacle to get round or get over. And you know, this is the what we're talking about when we're talking about capacity. Do you have the capacity to change? So if you're in a situation and you have a desire to change, you want to change but you just do not know where to start, I want to just share 3 simple tips with you just to get you started, because that's the hardest part, just getting started. So first of all, it's about getting clear. Pick one thing only that you want to change and focus on that and make a plan. First of all, think about why you want to change it. Think about what it would give you, all the gains that you would get if you did this one thing. And then park that for a little while, and then think about all the things in your life. To create capacity, you have to create space in your life. So it's about thinking about, okay, where can I create space so that I can then start creating the habits, taking the actions that I need to make this goal happen. So think about the energy drainers. What drains your energy and depletes you, leaves you demotivated, fed up, anxious, just bleh. You know, what are those things? Ditch them, get rid of them. I mean, it'll be very individual to you, but it might be stress, it might be poor food, it might be poor sleep, it might be toxic people, people that are depleting your energy. What can you do? How can you reduce the impact that these things are having so it's creating space in you? What are your time stealers? Scrolling on social media is a massive time stealer. The notifications that are constantly coming in your phone, you might be focused on a job in hand and then suddenly your phone pings, you look at your phone, and then a job that you were doing suddenly takes twice as long, 3 times as long. It's stealing time from you. So a simple thing like just turning the notifications off on your phone, or putting it away in your bag, put it in your drawer, just hiding it away and just saying, do you know what? I will check social media, but I will check it 3 times a day for this amount of time, and that's my time to do that. Because we all need relaxation time, we need rest. I don't believe scrolling through social media is the best way to relax, but if that's what your thing is, and that's what you enjoy doing, and you enjoy connecting with people that way, then that's fine. This is about finding your own way. And then the third thing, once you've identified, these time stealers, the energy drainers, the things that are really pulling you down and holding you back, and you take steps to ditch them, then you've created the space. So now you've got this void. Now, there's 2 things when we have a void. We either fill it in with stuff, because nature hates a void, hates a vacuum, and it will fill it. Anytime we have a void, we fill it. And this is why we often fill these voids with, things that don't serve us, because we want quick fix, we want connection, we want to feel happier now. And we don't think about the long term. We don't take actions that give us long term happiness. We go for the quick fix, the drink, the socialising, the cakes, coffee, with friends, whatever it might be. So when you've got that void, it's very important to fill it with more positive habits. So you've created the space. So this is the time now to really go to town and focus on taking the actions. So the one thing that you've chosen that will dramatically improve your life. Now, of course, when this starts happening, you start building momentum, and that leads on to something, because you start feeling good, you start getting more energy, you see it positively working. Hey, how's it going? Oh, Jack, very true. Hey, Sarah, Sheena, I hope I'm pronounced, Sheena, sorry, I've totally pronounced that wrong. It's nice to see you. So the third tip is to absolutely get role models around you. Create accountability for yourself. Now, I hate this word, accountability, and as soon as I say it, it conjures up this reaction inside me, because I don't want to be held accountable. It immediately feels like somebody's checking up on me. So the key to accountability is it's got to be fun. So when I say get role models around you and get accountability, I'm talking about surround yourself with people that absolutely lift you up, that absolutely inspire you, keep you motivated when you feel like giving up. That like, come on, you can do this, but they're really rooting for you. And the accountability part, it has to be fun, it has to be sociable. This is why running groups really work. Even groups like Weight Watchers and Slimming World, these models work because there's a sociable aspect, there's a connection there, other people on the same journey as you. So groups are highly effective for keeping you on track, keeping you motivated, but doing it in a fun way, because somebody checking up on you, well, if you're like me, doesn't work for me. But if I've got other people that are going through the same journey, they're going through the highs and lows and the emotional roller coaster that change brings, then it makes me think I'm not alone. Oh, they're like me, I get it. Oh, I totally know where they're at. When they explain, go, God, I'm really struggling this week, I'm like, oh, me too. So this is why I've created Change Your World Every Day, because that's what that's all about. It's daily life coaching from a whole range of leading coaches. We've got the group accountability, all people going to work on themselves. But Jenny said something this morning, so Jenny, our coach, and she said, she just admired everybody, because obviously we coach at 7 a.m. Now, when I tell people about this, that they go, what? You deliver coaching at 7 a.m? Who does that? Now, when this concept was first introduced to me, so the concept was of a miracle morning. And it was for all these things that, when we say, I don't have time for that. So the idea is you get up an hour earlier than you normally would, and you give that gift of an hour to you. It's your hour of power. That's Tony Robbins' big phrase. And there's a book on the miracle morning that you can read. Hey, Jenny, I'm just talking about you. Hey, Paul. So Jenny Campbell is our coach that's delivering the week of resilience this week, the myth busting on resilience. So we're just saying what a very powerful morning it was this morning, very thought provoking. But hi Jenny, she actually mentioned about everybody coming on and dedicating this time at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now this concept for me was like, 4 or 5 years ago, when the concept of a miracle morning was suggested to me, getting up an hour earlier and going to work on myself. So the idea is that you do all the things that you can't find time for. So like meditation, you do 10 minutes of meditation, you do 10 minutes of exercise, you do 10 minutes of writing a journal, you do 10 minutes of visualization, whatever, 10 minutes of writing the book that you've always wanted to write, 10 minutes of reading. You know, you use this hour however you like. It's for your hour of power. It's for you to work on the thing that you say you do not have time for, and you give yourself the gift. So I started doing this, and in the beginning it was hopeless. I used to set my alarm. I'd be super motivated on a Monday. I'd be like, yes, get up and, you know, do all my hour of power and my miracle morning, and I'd feel super motivated. See, by Friday, so every day, like Tuesday, I'd be like, oh, snooze, 10 minutes, okay, get up. By Wednesday, it was 20 minutes of snoozing. By Thursday, you know, 30 minutes of snoozing. And by Friday, my miracle morning had completely depleted. So this is something I've built up just stage by stage, baby steps, you know, just trying to get up a little bit earlier and just not beating myself up when I've been like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. But what I found when I gave myself this gift of time, started these healthy rituals, these healthy habits, it meant I had more energy. I was energizing myself. I was learning. I was growing. I was improving. I was discovering so much about myself and working out what worked for me, what served me, what didn't, and I was ditching whatever did not bring me happiness. I kept asking the question, does this bring me joy? And see, when the answer was no, I was like, well, why the F am I doing it? So I slowly started taking out all the things that didn't fill me up, didn't bring me joy, and I started filling my life up with all the things that did bring me joy. And I cannot tell you the amount of resilience that gives you to cope with life, because you know your foundations are built on just a foundation of things that are good for you and you enjoy, and you know your life isn't just loads of challenges and what have you. But my point though is that when Jenny had said about people coming on at 7 o'clock and working on themselves and dedicating this time, you know, I really, first of all, you know, I thought, yeah, because it's become so much of a habit for me, I've forgotten that this seems quite a strange concept to people. But so I invite you to think about when you could create space in your life so that you can create the capacity to create change in your life. Where is the hour you could give yourself? You know, if you can't do an hour, start with 10 minutes. I mean, seriously, if you have not got 10 minutes for yourself, there's something seriously going wrong in your life, that you do not have 10 minutes to yourself. I also met this lovely woman on a walk today. I went out for my morning walk and she was out walking the dog, and I see her lots of times, and today I stopped to speak to her and I found out her story, and basically she's in her early 60s, been diagnosed with an incurable disease. She's decided not to have any treatment and she's just going to live her life as much as she can to her absolute fullest. Also found out that she was caring for her ex-husband who had dementia, and that was depleting her energy massively. And she used to be a teacher, a dance teacher, and she loved ballroom dancing, and she was just saying that she doesn't have time, or she doesn't have the energy now to do her ballroom dancing. And it just, her story really broke my heart, because I just thought, gosh, you're so young, her husband's young as well, and I thought, this is just tragic. You know, here she is not able to do the thing that she loves, and because she's effectively caring for loved ones, which absolutely is important as well, but it's depleting her own energy and she's neglecting herself in the process. And I just thought, it's so tragic, you know, when we always think we've got time, and you know, we waste life. You know, this is one of the things that Alistair, one of the coaches in the group, my life coach, who helped me to transform my life, he said, you know, we are often wasting time, thinking, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. But you know, if you change the word time for life and say, I'm wasting life, suddenly it has a really different concept and, you know, perspective on it. Anyway, on that cheery note, I'm going to leave you there. But what I would invite you to do is think about where you can create space in your life so that you can then create the capacity to change. So think about the time stealers, the energy drainers, things that do not serve you, make you feel crap, and do not bring you joy. And think about how you can start slowly taking them out of your life one by one. You know, Change Your World is all about creating a ripple effect for individuals, organisations and the environment, and that is through the power of personal development, because when we develop ourselves, we start to think better. When we think better, we make better choices, and when we make better choices, we start getting better results. And that is the simple message of Change Your World. And when we start changing our own world, we create this change and a ripple effect in our own immediate environment. And if every single person had a personal development practice, we will change the world in the process. So that is a simple message, you know, you just have to go to work on yourself, but it's all about creating capacity in the first place. And if you want a little bit of inspiration, your first group accountability, we've got our life coaching group tonight if you're in the Inverness area. If you're not in the Inverness area, then check out our online coaching services. If you've been to any of my conferences, then you know what an inspirational day they are. Well, effectively, we've taken our conferences online because I've brought all my UK and leading international speakers to an online platform to deliver coaching to everybody in the group. So check it out, and speak to some of the other members, find out what they get out of it as well. So, and if you want to speak to me, then drop me an email at info@changeyourworld.me, or put some comments below. But love to you all. I look forward to hearing what you're going to ditch and what you... this is the other thing, we're creating our theme for next year. 2020 is the year of clear vision, 2020 vision. Get clear on your goals and what you want. So we're asking our members, our Change Your World followers, what do you want to leave behind in 2019 and what do you want to create in 2020? So it's all about planting the seeds, building the foundations now, and getting clear so you are ready to start on the 1st of January with a kick-ass, awesome new year. So, love to you all, take care, and I will speak to you soon. Cheerio, bye!